The first thing I'm going to do is put the cornstarch in a large bowl, and from the milk, I'm going to take out about a cup. There it goes. And what I'll do is simply mix it, taking advantage of the fact that the milk will be either cold or at room temperature. That makes the cornstarch dissolve much more easily. So take advantage and give it a quick stir with any utensil you have. I use these whisks, but you can use a spatula, a fork, a spoon, whatever you have. As long as you mix quickly and move the milk, it will dissolve very quickly. Once you have it completely dissolved, prepare the mold you're going to use. Like with caramel, as you see here, just pour a good amount of liquid caramel inside and spread it around with whatever you have. A spatula or your clean hands if you want. You can also use homemade caramel or any other sweet product that sticks to the mold. On the other hand, put 2 egg yolks in a container like this, a small cup, and beat them a little just so they become a uniform liquid. So give them a few turns, and when they're liquid, this part is ready too. And now we're going to cook this marvel. We put a saucepan over medium heat and add the rest of the milk, which will be 4 cups or about 800 milliliters. So we're going to pour it all in without any complications, and once we have it, we're going to give it a little touch of flavor. Like, well, with a few simple ingredients that you usually have at home. So don't stress, because today it's going to be an easy recipe with ingredients you usually have on hand. The first thing we're going to add is sugar to give it a sweet touch. In my case, 90 grams or half a cup. You could also use brown sugar or any other sweetener. And we also add a cinnamon stick to this, which is optional, of course, but I recommend it. I'm going to use the cinnamon stick and then a splash of vanilla, which goes together amazingly well. In today's awesome recipe, as you can see, I'm using a cinnamon stick and then I'm also going to use vanilla. In these amounts, they go perfectly together, but if you like other spices, use the ones you enjoy. We're here to have fun, so don't hold back. As you can see, I'm stirring it around and stirring while it heats up. Once it's warm, we add what we had at the beginning, that mixture of milk and cornstarch, and we stir it again. At this point, we add a splash of vanilla essence, extract, or flavoring. This way, since it's hot, the mixture blends together in just a moment and you get a balanced and fantastic flavor. Well, now all that's left is to keep stirring it just like that, calmly. So that this heats up and almost comes to a boil, at that moment a cream will have formed, which is exactly what we're looking for. And while we're getting there, it's a good time to remind you that if you like the video, give me a like and subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. If you haven't done it yet, stay up to date with the latest news. Look, this is already gaining some texture. Oh, look, how good that looks. It's very important not to stop stirring almost at any moment and to keep it on medium heat or even a bit lower. When it's nice and creamy, we remove the cinnamon stick since it's already done its job and given all its flavor. And then we're going to add the egg yolks. There they are inside with them. Remember, when everything is already creamy, totally. It's crucial to add them now. Right at the end, you give it a few quick stirs so it blends in and adds its touch. And we're gonna wait a couple of minutes, stirring it, so everything comes together. In the end, nice and firm, well set, and the cream forms perfectly. If you want, you can optionally add a bit of yellow food coloring. Is this really good? Honestly, it's a bit silly, but since I already had it, I use it because I like the shade it gives. It looks a bit flashier, but like I said, it's 100% silly. Once we've mixed in the yolk and cooked the cream for a couple more minutes, you'll notice how it thickens nicely. Nice and creamy, pretty thick. This is the final texture we're looking for. It falls off the spoon or spatula, but it takes a bit of effort. That's perfect. So, I take it off the heat, go straight to the mold we prepared with caramel and start filling it. In my case, I'm using the typical classic 1-liter flan mold, but you can use whichever you want. As you can see, I'm using store-bought liquid caramel. But you can easily make it yourself just by putting sugar with a few drops of water in a pan and waiting over low heat until it all turns into caramel. Hey, want something else? Well, then you can spread it with jam, with dulce de leche, or with anything creamy and sweet. Once you have all the cream inside, what I do is smooth it out a little so it stays flat, and that way, when it overflows, it looks perfect and doesn't end up a bit crooked. Once in the fridge or refrigerator, cover it if possible. Use the lid if available, otherwise use aluminum foil. Once it's cooled down, we put it in the fridge or refrigerator for at least 4 hours so the flavors can come together. And if you want, you can prepare it a day in advance without any problem. Alright, I already have it on the internet. Time flies, and right now I'm going to show you how this wonder turns out. I'm going to take off the lid. Let's see how this turns out. We take off the lid and you can see it looks just like a real flan with that aroma, like the classic pure flan we've always known. If you move the mold, you'll notice how the caramel makes the flan jiggle a little, so it's perfect for unmolding. I'm going to get a little plate where I want to present this marvel, and now it's time to flip it over. Let's go. Let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see, let's see. Let's turn it over. You'll hear a plop, and notice how the caramel starts to come loose, but the best part is coming up now. Look, 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 look. Wow, what an amazing look. A creamy cornstarch flan, and now I'll show you the best part, just like with people, the inside. Look, 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 what an amazing look. A flan that we've made in a simple way, very easy, without complications for the whole family, and on top of that, it's delicious. I hope you like the idea and that you try it someday, of course. Also, I would really like it if you left me a comment. What's your favorite flan? Can this one be on the list? Of course it can. And we've made a cornstarch flan without an oven. Super easy and looking this good. Come on, let's enjoy it. Wasn't it easy? And besides, doesn't it look amazing? Look, how spectacular, oh my, and it smells just like flan. As I promised you, here you have the list of ingredients, which by the way are really simple. But while you take notes, I'm going to enjoy a little bit. Oh, what a texture. I love flans, that unique flavor that just melts in your mouth. I hope you like them too, and let me know down here in the comments. Which one is your favorite? I'm sure you have one in mind, and that way I can get some ideas. Also, you can help me by giving the video a like, which always helps a bit. And watch this other one, which you can see looks really awesome. Haven't you done it yet? Well, subscribe to the channel, it's free. Turn on the bell to stay up to date with the latest news. And remember that I have another channel for savory recipes called Saladolandia.